Weekend Huddle here on 102.5 The Game. Connor Newton, Nick Frazier here with you. Good morning, Nashville. It is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day out in our great city. We got a lot to talk about today. The Preds in action. They take on the Utah Mammoth over at Bridgestone Arena tonight, pregame at 6. You can hear that right here on 102.5 The Game. Some college football to get into, and, of course, the Tennessee Titans out in Las Vegas. They play tomorrow at 3:05 and take on the Las Vegas Raiders. Nick Frazier, hello.
Good morning.
How are we?
We're great.
I know you had an eventful day yesterday.
Yes, eventful day. You get home from work and you see an uprooted fence line and you're wondering, how the heck did that happen? Not throwing anybody under the bus. Love my mother. But, just some things happen like that. She didn't mean to. She was backing up a trailer. I'm still flabbergasted on how that happened, honestly. Like, you just back it in, but how does it uproot the fence? I don't know. She defies the laws of physics and gravity and all that fun stuff. But I love my mother. My mom's great.
I haven't met your mom, but I look forward to it now.
Oh, you'll enjoy it.
It's been an eventful couple of days for everyone here. I have an airport story to give you.
Please do.
So I expect a souvenir from Chase McCabe when he returns from Vegas. I was tasked with bringing him to the airport on Thursday when they left. So we left at like 5. You know where our station is. It's about 5 minutes down the road from BNA. So we thought it was going to be, it's like a 20-minute trip. I can be in and out. I had Preds pregame here starting at 6. We left at 5. So I was like, okay, we can get this done. We were there for 2 hours, stranded in traffic. Poor Chase was getting very, very nervous. So eventually you get to the point where we pulled up close enough, and I was like, Chase, you just get out. Start walking. Fortunately, he made it to his terminal. Obviously, he's out partying in Vegas. So don't forget where you came from, Chase. I want that known. You wouldn't be there if it wasn't for me. So that's my story.
All those extra miles of gas that have gone down the drain.
At least give me gas money, man.
Yeah.
Like,
you could honestly be like, hey, how about Wendy's biggie bag, as Chris Sanders says.
You can also beat on that window behind you and tell Pogue to quiet it down.
I don't want to. It's okay.
Today is a bittersweet day here at the station. Our wonderful producer, a man we love very, very much, Jake Wallman, it is his last day here with us. So we'll obviously get into this more later throughout the show, but Jake, we're very, very sad to see you go, but happy to have you here regardless.
Yeah, it's definitely a bittersweet moment. Taking some time for myself to do some more things with my personal life. But I told Frazier this a couple weeks ago that we're going to make these last 2 shows the best 2 shows that I've had in my time here. So yeah. I'm really looking forward to today. Looks like a great show.
You're off to a great start. You've had 3 donuts. I mean, I brought you donuts for your last day.
He's feeling juicy.
Yeah.
Feeling juicy.
I see a little bit of a jovial look in his face there. His cheeks are as big as cherries on a cherry.
He's riding straight off of A, donut adrenaline.
Yep.
B, game day adrenaline. And C, this is the last day I have to deal with these idiots. So,
that's right. Tennessee's back on the field today.
They are. We're going to talk about it a little bit later.
Bless their hearts.
I kind of want to open. It's not going to be pretty for the Razorbacks. I'll tell you that much. I want to open today with last night. Were you up at approximately 12:45 in the morning?
Yes.
Did you watch
every single pitch? Every 358 pitches, is that right?
What a instant classic in the ALDS between the Seattle Mariners and the Detroit Tigers. Goes to 15 innings.
Has anybody done a wellness check on our friend Jake Lyman?
Last I heard, he was about to have a heart attack. I don't know how quickly he faded after that. I assume we won't hear from him today.
Yeah, I texted him in the 13th inning when the Tigers just had that miraculous double play to send it to 14, and he was very adamant, like, hopefully he was like, thank goodness we didn't lose that way on that bogus call that Victor Robles had,
which was absolutely a foul ball.
Yeah, I don't know how they missed that. That's crazy. If they're talking about his index finger was on the inside barrel of the bat, that's ludicrous. But yeah, Jake Lyman I think is okay from what I know of. I didn't text him in the 15th inning just because of all the way they lost. It was just unfortunate. Walk-off single to right field from Jorge Polanco.
Jorge Polanco. And if you listen to that final call, chills. I was like, oh my God, this is October baseball. I know Joe talks a lot about how he dislikes baseball and how meaningless it is. I've enjoyed this postseason a lot more than I thought I would. I didn't think I was going to enjoy it, mainly because I don't really care. Cardinals aren't in it, so I'm kind of, clocked out a little bit. I think you're probably like me and for whoever comes out of the AL, because I don't want to see the Cubs or the Dodgers in the World Series.
Yeah,
or the Brewers.
I did have the Yankees and Dodgers rematching in another World Series, but
that's out the drain.
That's out the drain because Yankees again. I'll go on a small rant here about the Yankees. The way the Steinbrenners have built that team, it's all left-handed batters, and it's like 4 or 5 DHs on the roster. You have 2 catchers that are not serviceable, and you're basically playing the statistics game and hoping everybody can hit a home run on the short porch. You got to have a well-rounded baseball team. And if you don't have that, then you have nothing. I mean, don't get me wrong. Max Fried led the AL, I believe, in
strikeouts.
What was it? Strikeouts?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
It's either strikeouts or strikes thrown.
Strikes thrown, I think, because Skubal has the strikeouts.
Yeah. You're right.
It might have been strikeouts, but or strikes, excuse me. You have Max Fried, who had an incredible year with the Yankees. Carlos Rondon, who had a really good year. Obviously, Garrett Cole, the whole elbow thing, whatever. There you go.
There we go. Back down.
It just, that rotation was very, very slim. And if the Yankees wanted to go for a true World Series push, they should have brought in some good players. Like, don't get me wrong, Ryan McMahon's a good hitter, good third baseman, great serviceable third baseman defensively. Don't bring in Jazz Chisholm. I know they did that last year. They should have just signed him to a 1-year deal. I mean, that's brutal.
The window's closing for them. Cody Bellinger's testing the free market.
Yep.
I'm willing to bet you Paul Goldschmidt retires after this year. It's all hinging on Aaron Judge. And Aaron Judge is in his prime right now. But it's a matter of, can they build the pieces around him? And I don't know if they can.
Yeah, they have done everything they could to just service this team to be playoff contenders. I think the departure of Soto after last season really put a damper on their lineup.
Yeah,
because if you look at 6, 7, 9 or 6, 7, 8, 9 in their lineup, it's bad, very bad.
Yeah, it's the middle of the lineup for the Yankees. Very, very bad. I'm kind of pulling for the Seattle Mariners now.
Yeah,
but I didn't realize it has been 25 years almost. I think 24 is the exact number.
Yeah,
since they last went to an ALDS or an ALCS. Keep getting them mixed up. I want to see them go all the way. I think they're one of the few MLB franchises that has never been to a World Series before.
That's true.
Yeah,
all the expansion teams have made at least one before. Yeah,
we'll see.
I kind of want to see it. At least go.
Yeah. I mean, the Blue Jays are a tough team.
They're a good team.
Vladimir Guerrero is hitting I think it's 529 in the division series against the Yankees.
They have a good pitching rotation too.
Yeah.
I mean, Max Scherzer is obviously right there, but you have
Shane Bieber.
Shane Bieber from who I forgot was there.
I know, isn't that crazy?
Yeah. They're going to be a tough team to beat. But go America.
There you go.
USA.
Yep. They have that Trey. Jake and I kind of struggle with Savage.
Yes.
I think that's how you pronounce it. Savage. However, yeah.
Who is the
they have Eric Lauer is on Milwaukee? No, he's in Toronto now.
He's Toronto.
Yeah.
Who's they've got that one good pitcher. He's a Japanese guy.
You talking on Toronto?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Maybe he's not there anymore.
I don't think so. I mean, they have a deep bullpen. I mean, you bring in, it used to be a starting pitcher, but Jose Barrios.
Yep.
He used to be a starting pitcher. Adam's no longer there, really. But Kevin Gausman, can't forget about Kevin Gausman.
Yeah, Kevin Gausman.
That's a pretty good one. He's a good fantasy pitcher.
Braves legend, Kevin Gausman.
There you go. Yeah. Oh, well. But, yeah, no, I think this.
Matt Chapman's on that team now.
Yeah, I think this Blue Jays lineup is pretty solid overall.
Yeah, I think
So we'll see what happens.
they're not to the level of a championship lineup that the Dodgers are, maybe even the Cubs.
Dodgers are a different level.
Dodgers are always going to be a different level.
I mean, they have the big market team. They can go and defer what $500 million is what it was to later on in those contracts. So they're not front loading all these contracts. So they can just do it afterwards, and they can go for a World Series push. They have a rotation in Tyler Glasnow, Blake Snell, Clayton Kershaw, who's on his final ride. You got Roki Sasaki, Shohei Ohtani, Yoshinobu Yamamoto. I mean, that's 6 guys right there as your starting rotation. And again, you're playing 7 games, best of 7 games. One of those guys is going to pitch twice. Come on now. That's incredible.
615-737-1025 is the phone number. That was our little baseball soapbox for the day.
Get it out of the way.
Just got to get it out of the system. It is postseason, and we're coming down to the wire here. So just wanted to get that out of the system. But we got a lot to talk about today. College football action today. Vanderbilt's on the bye, but Tennessee returns out of the bye to take on Arkansas. Some big matchups across the nation as well. Want to get into some Predators as their season is underway. How much of a hot start do they need to put some narratives to bed? And of course, we'll get into the Titans matchup against the Las Vegas Raiders. Excuse me. Our weekend poll question is live now, and let me tell you, it is a tight race at the top. Our poll question: hypothetically, the Predators have decided to bring back one past jersey as their third sweater. Which one should it be? Your options: the 2021 retro reverse alternates. Those are kind of the original home uniforms, but they are gold instead of navy. They're probably my favorites. The 2003 Mustard Cats, which are a fan favorite. The original 1998 navy home sweaters, or the 2010 black and navy alternates. Those are your options. You can go vote for those on our Twitter. That poll is active for about the next 30 minutes or so, and we will break that down at the top of the hour. But coming up next, are we on Cam Ward breakout watch? I think this game is set up defensively for Cam Ward to have a good game. We'll talk about that next. Weekend Huddle broadcasting from the Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville Studios, home of the $99 yearly BI membership, where the buzz is always about great service. Again, 615-737-1025 is our phone number. Our phone and text lines driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. We'll get to that conversation coming up next here on the Weekend Huddle on 1025 The Game. Look at that. I feel like we're in Scranton, Pennsylvania, the Electric City. Your mug's Scranton. Look at you. Tune into 102.5 The Game Nashville, or theGameNashville.com for NASCAR coverage of the South Point 400 race tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. Coverage presented by Michael Waltrip Signature Floor, located inside of Hank Williams Jr. Boogie Bar in downtown Nashville. Welcome back in Weekend Huddle here on 102.5 The Game. Connor Newt, Nick Frazier, Jake Wallman with you this morning, talking a little bit of Titans. Let's get into that. So, last night, things went off the rails a little bit on the game blitz. Not a lot of high school to report, so it ended up becoming Brandon and I just kind of talking about Titans and stuff like that. And Brandon Bigsby did phenomenal last night, by the way. Just want to tell you that.
Great job.
The Raiders defense is not a defense outside of Max Crosby that scares me. Want a perfect example? Sure. Jamal Adams is playing linebacker for them. There you go. So I posed the question, are we on Cam Ward breakout watch on this game? If Cam Ward channels what he did in the fourth quarter last week against the Arizona Cardinals, is he poised for a big day against a worse defense?
I don't think so.
Really?
Yeah, I think we have to take this game with a grain of salt. I think last week's performance, the whole thing about J.C. Latham coming back this week being a potential option for this offensive line, it's a great idea to bring him back, build that chemistry again. If he picks up where he left off in Denver, I think, yeah, sure, this would be a Cam Ward breakout game. But if I'm in the notion, and I'm not trying to be negative about it, but normally when people come back from injury, it takes them a little time to ease into things. And I'm a little worried about J.C. Latham not being fully ready. And if that's the case, then that makes Cam Ward a little jostled in the pocket a little bit.
Yeah.
Where he's still the question was, I think, earlier in the week about Brian Callahan talking about, well, Cam's throwing a lot of balls too hard to this guy or too soft to here. He can't get the right rhythm down. And I think primarily is because the offensive line. I mentioned this to Jake earlier in the week, and that's solely the number one thing that bothers me the most is if Cam Ward can't dial in on things, it's because the O-line play has not been great. But nonetheless, they had a really good game last Sunday, and I'm hoping they can carry that through into tomorrow. That's why you keep Ali Udoh out there, in my opinion.
I'm under the impression, in terms of Cam Ward breakout, that it's possible, but it's not probable, if that makes sense. I think the offense so far has not shown that they are capable of being a consistent and effective offense. Now, if I say they play like they played in the fourth quarter, Calvin Ridley is catching balls that are dropped in the bucket for him. The tight ends, Chig and Gunner, are looking great. The run game is working. The offensive line is gelled up and looking effective. Then, yes, I think this has the capability to be a big game for Cam Ward and a big game for the offense as a whole. But like I said, it's not probable. This offense has given me nothing to look for in terms of consistency. This offense goes out and, they are the kings of 3 and out, if that makes sense. And some of that has to do with play calling. I think Bo Hardegree has been a lot better of a play caller the last week than Brian Callahan has been all season. But it's a one-game instance. I think we need to see string together strands of consistency with this offense. And that's why I think it's possible that Cam Ward has a big day, but I wouldn't bet my mortgage on it.
Yeah, and I like the way you phrased that. Possible, but not probable, because now that you have Joey Sly out of the equation because of his injury, he's not playing this Sunday.
I think he's not going to play a two-tone blue ever again.
Oh, okay. I like that observation.
If this kid that they're throwing out there, what's his name? Matthew Wright?
Matt Wright, yeah.
Matt Wright, if he goes out there and he's lights out, I think it's bye-bye Joey Sly.
Yeah, I'd agree to that, but the reason why I bring it up is because Cam Ward as a quarterback has to get them in field goal position. And if Bo Hardegree, like to your point, is making good play calls, then Cam Ward has to make sure they're in good field position. And you don't want to put your, I guess not rookie kicker, but a guy off
young
the street,
kicker, yes.
A young kicker off the street in a bad situation. So that's something to look at too.
615-737-1037 1025 is the phone number. Let's go to our phone lines driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Welcome in our friend Adam in Portland, who has been on the line waiting patiently. Adam, good morning. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. Number one, the original Predators jerseys are by far the most badass, and I've been looking for them to come back for a long time. So that's my pick. As far as Cam, dude, I was super sick, and then I was out of town, so I haven't really heard any sports talk radio in like the last 13 days. I'll say my assessment from afar is that exactly what Nick just said, which is that I don't expect us to be Sports Center top 10. I'm not. He reminds me kind of like, you remember seeing Vince Young beat the Cardinals,
Yes,
and he's just marching down the field, or the way he beat the Texans where he ran for like 60 yards in overtime. That's something. Maybe you get something like that, but the fact of the matter is, the team is still not good enough, and it doesn't matter if it's the Raiders. It doesn't matter if it's the Portland Panthers, man. We're probably going to get beat in a lot of different directions with this Tennessee Titans team because they're not adequate enough, man. I seen Cam, even that pick at the very end, like, do you know how much God-willing things had to happen to win that game? Like, so many things had to happen, dude. You had to have the Cardinals, like, I don't know, maybe Kyler had a bet out or something. Like, there had to be something, right? Like, there's no way we should have won that game. So I'm not dumping on the idea that he'll get better. I like winning, and winning helps people get better. Our team is just not good enough, man. And that, like, the more I look at it, the more I'm like, okay, if all they have is Max Crosby, he could still beat us. Like, he could still get 4 sacks and turn us over twice, and that would be enough, you know. So I'm not sold on it, but I'm also not trying to be a pessimist. I understand what we have, and I like our quarterback a lot. I just don't think we have enough yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand you. Thank you, Adam, for the call.
Glad you're feeling better.
Yeah, glad you're feeling better. We've missed you a lot. I haven't heard Adam in Portland in a long time, it feels like. So good to hear from him. He raises some very interesting points there, and I think I'm tending to agree with you more, Frazier. This offense is not consistent enough to tell me that they're going to go out and have a big day. Like I said, possible, but not probable. I think we are taking this one quarter instance from Cam Ward, and I'm guilty of this because I'm the one that came up with the topic of conversation. I think we're taking this one game instance from that fourth quarter last week and applying it to the future and saying, oh, well, Cam Ward had a big fourth quarter. That is pivotal for his future, and maybe it is. But I don't think we can take that instance and say, yeah, Cam Ward is poised for a monster day. Like I said, possible. Anything is possible. He's a rookie quarterback. He's getting his footing in the league, and he's shown you flashes of being elite in this league. However, I don't think it's consistent. It's on a consistent enough basis to say, yes, we can bank on Cam Ward being the X factor and the guy that's going to lead us to victory in this one.
For Cam Ward to be successful in this league we call the NFL, go back and watch week 1 tape of Denver. And the only thing that really sticks out to me about that game that I think Cam Ward's kind of shied away from is he's improvising a little too much. Whereas when he was in Denver week 1, he stayed in the pocket until the very end. And I think he's getting to the realization that sometimes the O-line is not holding their blocks enough to where he can stay in the pocket long enough. And to that point, I understand. But if you're a quarterback like a Matthew Stafford that Brian Callahan has air quotes coached, been with a Peyton Manning, all those guys were pocket passers, and I mean, Stafford's still playing, but they stuck in the pocket. They threw the ball. And nonetheless, if it wasn't there, throw it away. Like, I get that the NFL's evolving into a mobile style quarterback. Like Russell Wilson, I think was him and Cam Newton were the first ones to kind of evolve that quarterback position, in my opinion. And it's now turned into the Mahomes, the Lamar Jacksons, the Josh Allens, and so forth and so on, all the above. Cam Ward is now a product of that, a byproduct of that. And if he continues to develop as a quarterback, I think you have to have your baseline of pocket passing first and then do what you normally know how to do, and that's improvise and run out of the pocket.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. 615-737-1025 is the phone number if you want to get involved in the conversation. Are we on Cam Ward breakout watch headed into Sunday against the Las Vegas Raiders? Coming up next, I want to take it a little bit further.
Mhm.
Now that we've kind of established, I'll use my term, and I think you like that term too. It's possible, but not probable. How can coaching and play calling play a factor into making Cam Ward effective, not just in this game, but in games in the future? That's coming up next. Weekend Huddle brought to you by LPL financial planning for tomorrow so that you can enjoy today. We will continue the conversation coming up next. Connor Newt, Nick Frazier here on the Weekend Huddle on 102.5 The Game. Looking for a good spot to watch NFL games tomorrow? Then you should come to Twin Peaks in Cool Springs, home of the 29-degree beer, and join 102.5 The Game for the pregame show before the Titans take on the Raiders. Pregame show brought to you by Parman Tractor and Equipment, Old National Bank, Circus Sportsbook, Kentucky, and Tennessee Brewworks. Believe tomorrow will be Adam Vingan and Chris Sanders getting you set as Joe's having a little fun out in the Sin City. Welcome back in. Weekend Huddle here on 102.5 The Game. Connor Newt, Nick Frazier with you, talking a little bit of Titans. Are we on Cam Ward breakout watch? I think we've established that it is possible, but not likely, not probable. So I want to take this a step further. If it's not probable, What can Bo Hardigree and the offensive play calling unit do to set Cam Ward up for success, not just in this game, but in games moving forward?
Man, it's kind of a loaded question a little bit. If Bo Hardigree wants to have Cam Ward be successful going forward, I think you got to utilize those short passes out of I'd say shotgun in some aspects, because those have worked well. I mean, you look at Calvin Ridley, who had 5 receptions for 131 yards. I guess some of those were down the field, but majority of them were from the hashes to the sideline. I mean, that's kind of the bread and butter of Calvin Ridley.
Yeah.
And if you can, I guess, prioritize that and not just have it be for Calvin Ridley, but Elk Almayer, Chim DK, I think you can really do some damage with that. And to that being said, like, you're not playing behind the sticks anymore. That's beneficial for the team, beneficial for Cam Ward, and it's beneficial for you as a coach, Bo Hardigree. Like, just air it out a little bit more. I think that, I mean, we're starting to see that a little bit. Again, comes back to the offensive line, but besides that, to see this team evolve, Cam Ward's got to be comfortable in the pocket, and he's got to be comfortable with throwing the ball. And I think he's lost that a little bit. And under Bo Hardigree, if he just calls, I'd say, the right calls for Cam to be comfortable with, they should have some success going forward.
I think it's situational awareness, right?
Yeah.
I think you've got to know when you can launch the ball down the field, when you can take these short passes, and when you can draw guys open.
Mm-hmm.
That's something I feel that this coaching staff has not had throughout their entire era here. I think it's been situational awareness. It's not something that you've seen regularly. Look at Brian Callahan, for example. When Brian Callahan first gets the ball, what does he usually like to do?
Run it.
Yep. What's he do on second down?
Run it.
What's he do on third down?
Throw it when you're behind the sticks, and then get an incomplete pass and punt it.
Exactly. Situational awareness. And how many times have we seen Brian Callahan decide to go for it on fourth down and or not go for it and play for a field goal?
Quite a bit.
You got to put your quarterback in a position to go make a play. And the coaching staff hasn't done that thus far. Now, they did it in the fourth quarter last week, and you saw what happened. Cam Ward dropped a ball quite literally into the hands of Calvin Ridley to get you in the red zone and set you up for a game-winning field goal. That's what I want to see. I want to see you draw up plays that exercise Cam Ward's talent, that show that you can trust him in a situation like that. And plus, they put them in a situation like that. When's Cam Ward going to learn how to navigate a situation like that? When he's in it.
Mm-hmm.
Experience is the best learning tool, and that's in everything you do. But in the game of football, for a quarterback especially, they're not going to know if they don't try or aren't given the opportunity to try. So open up the playbook a little bit. I understand pass pro may be a little bit of a problem, but the offensive line has looked very good the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Give Cam Ward an opportunity to go make a play.
Yeah, and you made a great point there, and it kind of strengthens my point about not playing J.C. Latham, which obviously they're going to play him because he's healthy, but you really have nothing to play for besides just developing young talent. And I guess you could count J.C. Latham in this situation of developing young talent, but if he's hurt, don't get him out there and hurt him even more. Like, if he's banged up playing, don't have him out there banged up playing.
Yeah.
Like, you have a big, bright future with this team. Don't hurt him for it. That's just my thing. And you make a great point. The situational decision-making is what needs to improve on this team tremendously.
Yeah, it's not knowing or having a feel of the game. And that's a problem you've seen with the Titans. It's kind of the problem MTSU is having right now, but that's a different story.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have a feel of the offense and of what the defense is going to throw at you. I understand that they scheme around things that you plan, but like I said, don't be afraid to go off script. Open up the playbook to help your young quarterback instead of these safe little, let's have Tyler Lockett run across the middle or Chim DK or someone. Maybe we'll get 4 to 5 yards, and that'll put us right in field goal range. Then we'll just run it and settle for the field goal. Give your quarterback the opportunity to throw the ball down the field and put some points on the board, because I promise you, he has the talent to do it. And more importantly, he has the mentality that he's going to go do it. He's going to make a play on this next play because that's the kind of person he is.
Yeah, and as spectators and Titans fans out there, will realize this Titans team that their special teams is getting there. I think Chimdike is going to open one up and be
He's
able
going
to
to take one home.
He's going to take one home. And I'm not trying to, change the subject a little bit, but looking at this Titans offense, I don't want to say they're ways away. They have the pieces to be good, but they need a little bit extra time to develop about those situational decision makings like you're talking about. The defense in the last couple weekends, have started to turn the corner a little bit, in my opinion. I think L'Jarius Sneed, obviously still a veteran player, not the L'Jarius Sneed of old, but yet he is serviceable. He tracked down Amari DiMarcado. That was the whole fumble ball thing. He didn't touch it, but he dropped it.
Yeah.
Which, if he didn't go after him,
and they got punched on the sideline.
Yeah, but like I'm saying, that second effort though on the defensive side of the ball, if you don't go chase him down and you're a yard away from him, I'm pretty sure more than likely he's holding on to that football across the goal line. There's just certain things like that happen, and this Titans defense, sure, it's not the best. Jeffrey Simmons is having a generational year. We get all that. Add all those together, you have a decent defense. I mean, sure, they've not looked great in the first 4 weeks. Week 5 looked all right against, Arizona, but that's just something you're going to have to put into factors that defensively and special teams are going to have to outweigh the offense for the Titans right now, just for the time being, until Cam Ward and that offense can kind of click on all cylinders.
I think not only is it important for your young quarterback to open up the playbook a little bit, it's also important for your young pieces as a whole on the offense.
Mm-hmm.
Peter Skoronski's playing Pro Bowl level football right now. There are some people in this city that will look and hate on Peter Skoronski because he was taken at 11 at a guard. He's playing Pro Bowl level football right now. J.C. Latham being back in the offensive line is a huge, huge thing. It is going to play a factor in the Titans offense this Sunday. And I think you need to look to develop your young pieces in skill positions. Chimdike, Alec Ayomanor, Gunnar Helm. You need to connect Cam Ward with those guys as often and as early as possible, because Alec Ayomanor, to me, is the kind of guy that if you get him involved early, he's going to be more effective later on down the line. Chimdike, I think, is a guy you can put in for a big play, and he'll make it.
Right.
Same with Gunnar Helm. Gunnar Helm is capable of making big plays. So open up the playbook. Don't be afraid of what your young quarterback, what kind of mistake he could make. Instead, look at the positives here and say, Cam Ward's a young quarterback. We need to trust him to throw the ball down the field and make a big play, because I promise you, not only does he have the talent to do that, he has the mentality to do so as well.
Yeah, and we'll see what happens tomorrow, because with Tony Pollard and Tajay Spears back there, I think it'll take a little bit of weight off the shoulders of Cam Ward. I think with the number 1 overall pick expectation around Cam Ward, just the overall hype around him, I think there's too much of it. I think Titans fans have to learn how to take that off the shoulders of Ward and kind of dish it to other people, kind of even it out a little bit. Because when you do that, then
spread the wealth.
Yeah, I think the guy is a good quarterback. I just don't think he's generational yet. I think you have to give it a little time.
I don't think he was ever a generational prospect.
Right.
However, contrary to some belief of people in the city, I think he was the best quarterback prospect in that draft.
For sure.
Now, speaking of one-game instances, a lot of people like to say, well, Jackson Dart beat the Philadelphia Eagles. Oh, my God. And it's one game. I mean,
Philly's not clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, Philly is not looking like – I mean, they're a good team. They're a Super Bowl contender in the NFC, but they got some problems.
Yeah, they're relying too much on that offensive line and the run game. Don't get me wrong, Saquon's a great player.
They ran the tush-push 4 consecutive plays on Thursday.
Yeah, and you have a guy like A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith that you're not even utilizing. And
no, A.J. Brown's about to turn into Antonio Brown.
Yeah,
it's going to be bad.
I think there is some behind-the-scenes conversations that A.J. Brown is saying null and void that's not happening, but are. I think there was a conversation between Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, and A.J. Brown, and he denied it. So I don't know.
What do you think happens if they trade him back to daddy over in New England?
I don't know. I wouldn't even touch New England right now, because
I wouldn't either.
They're hitting everything. I mean, Stephon Diggs looked fantastic against Buffalo in that Sunday Night Football upset. I don't know if they can get that every single week. I think A.J. Brown's hitting that point in his career where he's turning the corner on the end of his prime. I know that sounds kind of ridiculous to say.
This is the greatest moment in game day history.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I'm interrupting you, but Kirk Herbstreit is riding on a motorcycle with Puddles the duck. So
he's got to get to Dallas.
Yeah, he's got to hustle.
Interesting.
I love that duck so much. 615-737-1025 is the phone number if you want to get involved in the conversation. Coming up next, it's my turn. I take over the show. Newt's Notes coming up next, and I think we need to remind some people of how we do things here. That's coming up next here on the Weekend Huddle on 1025 The Game. There we go.
That's my bad.
That's all right. That is A-okay. Weekend Huddle here.
In the break, and I got caught up in Frazier and I's conversation.
Two chatty Cathy's over here. Sorry about that.
Two chatty cats over here. And Weekend Huddle here on 1025 The Game, and it's my time. As is always. Let me talk to you. All right, so I think we need to remind people of how we do things around here. Yesterday, I was on Next Minute Up with Jake and Parker. Parker is now a Braves and Cubs fan, which is outlawed. So, with me, I have brought a revision of the Newt Sports Book of Fandom,
Thank you.
which is now platinum on Amazon. Not actually. So, we will go through every single one, and this one is dedicated to Parker Kelly. I hope he's listening.
He should be.
You cannot have two teams. And that is rule number 1. Thou shalt not have more than one favorite team in one specified sport. You get one. That means you have to pick one, Parker. You got to pick between the Cubs and the Barvs. One of the two. You don't get both. Number 2, in the event of having multiple teams, you must have a valid reason. Family connections, religious, childhood experiences, etc. The secondary team cannot overlap the primary team. So, the point stands. You pick one. I realize he went to Chicago or college in Chicago. He has family there. However, those are two NL teams. Those are two teams that I think you could consider rivals on some level.
It's like kissing your sister.
Maybe not that far.
It kind of is, actually.
Yeah.
Same family, same league.
This is an important one. Maybe not for Parker, but it is an important one. In the world of college sports, your team must be constant throughout all sports. For example, Alabama football / Kentucky basketball fans worthy of execution.
Taboo.
It is. One of my friends last week asked me if I wanted to support Alabama in their game against Vanderbilt. I said, I will support you, but I will not wear a hat because I will not fit that demographic of Alabama fans and Kentucky basketball fans. It's inappropriate and it is wrong. Random college sports apparel is allowed as long as it's not a rival or conference opponent. College football 26 program representation is encouraged. As you can see, I am a part of this rule today. If you're watching the stream, I am representing the Oregon Ducks. They are not a rival with my Kentucky Wildcats. I have coached there, and I love that Duck. So I represent them well. Ditching a fandom is banned in all caps. Should one ditch their fan base for another, they should never be considered a real fan and should be exiled from the country. So, choice is yours, Parker Kelly. What do you want to do here? Do you want to ditch the Braves for the Cubs? Or do you want to be a real man and pick one?
What was his primary? Wasn't it the Braves?
It was.
I thought he was. I remember him mentioning, I think it was this time last year, where he was a Braves fan.
Yep.
So if he's a Braves fan initially, yeah, you're right, Connor. It does fall under this category. This is ridiculous. I'm a diehard Cardinals fan just like you.
Yep. Have you ever considered leaving them?
Absolutely not.
Exactly.
Even when they stink right now for the last 2 years.
You got to be loyal.
Yes.
When attending a sports event, you must stay the entire game barring an emergency. Money should not be thrown away. This doesn't really relate to him, but I personally cannot stand when people spend their hard-earned money and their team is losing, so they leave. You got to sweat it out, man. Just like you're watching on TV. You got to sweat it out. Become one with your team. Become a fan and become loyal to said team.
Prime example. Went to St. Louis at the end of August. Went for a charity golf event. And I was like, you know what? Cardinals game. They're taking on the Pirates. I want to see if Paul Skeens is in attendance. Didn't pitch, but he was in attendance. $37 because they're so bad.
Yeah.
4 rows off home plate. I got my brother and my dad said, hey, let's leave early. I was like, no, this game's it's tied 1-1. No need to leave early. Walk off home run.
There you go. Nolan Arenado. I remember that game.
Alec Burleson. I was at that game too. That was in June. This is a different game.
Oh, that was the Dodgers.
Yeah, it was the Dodgers.
Yeah, that's right.
I was at that game. That was great.
That's right.
And then obviously Alec Burleson in the end of August.
Look, I'm
off home run to center field.
I'm headed to I'm headed to Kroger Field here in a couple weeks. The Krog to watch Kentucky and Tennessee. I fully expect that game to be a blowout. I expect to get beat by 20. However, I'm excited because I've never been there. And am I going to stay for the whole thing? Absolutely. Mostly because they're trying to price out the Vols fans, so tickets are relatively expensive. But I'm going to stay the whole game because I'm excited, and that's my team, and I'm going to sweat through it because I'm a fan. Number 7, never yell at a person for cheering and showing support. If you do, you are subject to old man yells at cloud status. This is in reference to people that are season ticket holders. A lot of old people, I think at Neyland, you could probably say they're there. They're definitely at Rupp Arena. They get very upset when the younger crowd comes in and stands up and cheers. Why? They're showing support and they're contributing to the environment.
I don't get that either. That makes no sense.
It drives me crazy. Number 8, admiration of specific players should never switch your fandom. Remain loyal no matter the roster. That means if you are a Mookie Betts guy, don't let that make you a Los Angeles Dodger. I'm a Mookie Betts guy. He's a local guy. He's been one of my favorite players. Does that mean I like the Los Angeles Dodgers? Absolutely not. So there you go.
I'm with you. Yeah, my brother grew up playing baseball with Mookie. I was fortunate to play one game with Mookie Betts back in the day as an 8-year-old.
Ah.
Yeah, played up with the 14-year-olds.
My dad used to umpire Mookie when he was back at Overton. He was pretty much a utility guy. Played shortstop, played outfield.
Natural infielder, by the way.
Natural second baseman, actually, but played everywhere. Baseball's not even his best sport.
Bowling.
Yep. He's a bowling legend. Number 9, rivalries are to be treated with respect and are not a personal matter. After the game, rivals should shake hands and wish each other well. It can get heated. I know, especially in college sports. However, don't let rivalries throw your friendships away. Treat each other with respect. And finally, number 10, allow a fan to grieve after a tough loss. Bad things happen to good people.
Yep. I've witnessed that in Mississippi State versus Tennessee.
Yeah, I was here.
You were. I was losing my mind, woman. I threw my hat. I was standing right where Connor's sitting.
I remember we talked about this last week.
Yep.
Yeah, poor guy.
One rule that I didn't hear that I want your opinion on. You mentioned you're going to the Kentucky-Tennessee game in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Let's say I'm a Tennessee fan and you're a Kentucky fan that's, trying to sell some tickets. Do you agree with selling to the opposing fan base?
No, never. No.
Okay.
Price gouging at all?
Price gouging. And if I do, I'm going to sell it for way more than it's actually worth.
I really like it when I see fans not just sell to the same team, but like they're looking for like a dad and son that's never been. And
bingo. Because if you sell to the opposing team, not only are you filling your stadium with the opposing fan base, you're robbing a fellow Wildcat, for example, of an experience. Like you said, I like when people that can't go to the game try to find, a dad and a son on the street that have never been to a game. It's stuff like that makes the world go round. So I think, maybe I'll add that one to the list. Maybe we're making some revisions as we speak.
I love it.
You cannot sell tickets to an opposing fan. I really got to get this published.
You should.
And I really hope Parker Kelly is listening.
Have Puddles the Duck and you hugging on the front of the.
Oh my!
Or just
goodness.
like arm in arm.
Oh, no, it's gonna be like that. Did you see the picture of Puddles and Lee Corso that he keeps parading around? It's the Step Brothers picture, but it's Puddles.
That's it.
But it's Puddles and Lee Corso.
You need that. That's the front cover of this book.
Me and the duck doing the
Yes.
Step Brothers pose.
Yes, this is great.
In like cursive writing.
What's the title of this book?
It's the Newt Handbook of Sports Fandom. I need to talk to Joe Dubin and see who his publisher is. See if he can help me out.
This is within reach, Connor. This is doable.
I think we can make some money off of this, and I think we can make some standards.
I'm in. I'm a supporter.
You can be you can come with me. You can be like my media surplus guy. You can just hang out at Books A Million next to me and make sure nothing goes wrong.
Next to Starbucks.
When I'm doing book signings, and some crazy fan comes up to me and says, "I don't agree with this," and I'll be like Charlie Kirk and just debate them.
That'd be pretty funny.
I really hope he was listening to that because now he's got to make a decision.
Yeah, Parker does now. Cubs or Braves?
Cubs or Braves? You don't get. I mean, Cubs are having more success than the Braves as of lately. So I hope that's not the reason that he's being swayed. He went to a game in St. Louis, actually. It was Cubs and Cardinals.
And what'd he say? He loved it.
Yep.
And what does he have in his backpack? A Busch Stadium pin. So.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, we got to get rid of it.
Yeah.
You are in violation of so many rules right now.
Crossing a lot of lines.
Crossing a lot of lines. 615-737-1025 is the phone number if you've got opinions on the new handbook of sports fandom. I'm not going to change my opinion, but you can give me yours. Tomorrow's NFL game of the week is the Cowboys versus the Panthers at noon on Sports Talk 830. NFL game of the week presented by Circa Sportsbook Kentucky and Macero in 12 South. Let me also tell you that tonight's college football game of the week is South Carolina versus number 11 LSU at 6:45 on 94.9 The Fan, presented by Twin Peaks Restaurants and Circa Sportsbook Kentucky. Coverage also available on the Game Nashville app and theGameNashville.com. When we come back, the poll results are in. We asked you if the Predators were to reveal a third jersey, which jersey in the past do you think it should be? The results are in. We'll break it down next. You're on the Weekend Huddle on 102.5 The Game. Hour number 2 of the Weekend Huddle here on 102.5 The Game. Connor Newton, Nick Frazier, Jake Wallman with you, broadcasting from the Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville Studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership, where the buzz is always about great service. Had a great hour one. Hopefully, we fixed some of your fandom problems. I need to get that book published because some of you are doing it wrong. And Parker Kelly is the ringleader in that. As we do every week here on the Weekend Huddle for hour number 2, we react to our poll results. We put out a poll question every week. You all go vote for it, and we decide a winner and have a little bit of a healthy debate on it. So our question this week, let's say the Preds decide to bring back one jersey from the past as their third alternate sweater. Which one should it be? Your options were the 2021 reverse retro alternates, which is basically a spin on the original home jerseys, except gold with a navy hat, and it looked awesome. The 2003 mustard cat alternates, they kind of redid this in 2022 with those retro reverses, just with the current shade of gold.
Correct.
The 1998 original home navy jerseys, which are an all-time classic, chef's kiss, and the 2010 navy alternates, which were navy, had some black piping and black checkers on it with the red Predator eye. The results are in. 38.6% of you voted for the 2010 navy alts. They win the poll, just barely beating the 1998 original home jerseys with 36.4%. The other one, retro reverse. And let me tell you something. I don't like the 2010 navy alternate.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat with you there, Connor.
They look too much like the Tampa Bay Lightning to me.
Yeah, the checkered, you mentioned in the break, the checkered one, I don't know if I like the checkered piping. It has too much of like a Tennessee Vol, like you're trying to include everybody. Like Tennessee Vols mixed with the Preds, mixed with, like you just mentioned, it just the piping for me, I'm with you. I'm not a fan of the 2010s. I was in the camp of the 98 Navy Classics.
That's probably where I would go.
Yeah.
Because I think we need a little bit of Navy in our lives. And there are teams across the league that do the throwbacks. Like Carolina throws it back to the Hartford Whalers with the green and blue, and it looks awesome. There are some others. Vancouver, they wear the black and gold. Not really their current colors, but it looks good. There are other teams as well. I think the Predators need a little bit of Navy in their lives in that third jersey because you and I were talking about this a little bit during the break. The gold is it's the standard around here, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
It's a unique color scheme. The primary gold mixed with the navy. No other team in the NHL has a color scheme like that, and I think the Predators exercise that well. However, throwing it back to the navy for a third alternate jersey not only showcases your colorway a little bit more, it also kind of ties things back to history. It kind of ties back to where this franchise was. When we started, we were all navy. Navy at home, white on the road with navy in it. Now it's gold at home and white with gold on the road. I think I would like a little tie back to the franchise's history as we're approaching almost 30 years of this franchise's existence.
I agree. I mean, looking at the numbers from our poll there, Connor, we obviously know 75% of the voters want a Navy jersey.
Yeah.
Like we all know that. 38 here, 36 here. Like we get all that. 75% of them wanted, and there's a little 0.4 and 0.6 in there, so that's why it rounds up. But that's simply it. Give us a nice Navy jersey. And to me, I think a good combination would be like the Nashville Predators primary logo on the front.
Yeah.
You do a Navy jersey that kind of, let's see if I can pull it up. There's a concept here that I like, and I'll pull it up. Let's see. Is it big enough? There we go. It's the one on the bottom left there, Connor.
Oh, yeah. The old
yeah, it's like the shoulder patch.
Yeah.
Yeah. The shoulder patch of like the Predator skull.
Yeah. That would be awesome. I'd be okay with that one. Actually, I'd prefer that one, but I'd like the the skate cat on there too.
Yeah.
Kind of like that's what I wanted them to do a couple years ago when they were doing the mustard cat revision, but do that on Navy. And the Predators recently have tried to do Navy. Do you remember the stadium series that they did?
I was okay with it.
It said Smashville on it.
I was okay with it.
It wasn't my favorite. I don't really like when this is weird. Hockey jerseys have words on them unless it makes sense. Like Carolina's away, or they used to at least. They have canes slanted down, and I think it looks good. But in a hockey perspective, I really like when it's just a logo because I think that's where it looks best.
I agree. I'm in the camp of the Cotton Bowl when the Preds played the Stars. I liked those jerseys.
Oh, yes.
I was a fan of those.
Yeah, the Winter Classics.
Yes.
Those were beautiful. Those I wouldn't want those as a third jersey because they're white.
Right.
And I don't like when hockey teams wear white at home, and they don't usually.
It's not football.
It's not football. I don't like when football wears white at home. It's not basketball. Basketball is the only sport I'm okay with teams wearing white at home because that's tradition. But I think we need a little bit of Navy in our lives.
Yeah.
And I think 75% of you would tend to agree with us.
I'd agree. And I don't know, maybe bring back a little bit of the yellow piping. Like that's why I brought up the 98 one. That's why I voted for it, because it has a little bit of everything. The gold and the gold piping.
That's why I love it.
Yeah. You have the silver, and then obviously you have the Navy, and you have the original logo. It's just perfect.
Yeah. No, it's perfect. It still looks good today. I'll still throw one out every once in a while if I'm going to a game, because I've inherited one from the inaugural season.
Right.
So still have it, still wear it. It's really a really nice jersey, and I'd like to see it come back.
Preds fans and Preds front office, you know where to go with this. Bring it back.
How do you feel about the 2021 ones? It was a revision of the original ones.
Like, I get the concept. They should have used it a little bit more. Let's put it that way.
Yes.
I think the NHL has to loosen up on their jersey requirements and allowing things to work and not work. I think they were fine. I didn't mind them one bit.
I loved them.
It works out well with the current, I guess, design, with the whole color outline, all the above color palette, but yet bring back the Navy.
Yeah, we need Navy in our lives.
Yeah.
It's just a change of scenery.
Like the Preds could easily do a Canadian tuxedo like aspect of it, where it's all denim. I'm not saying do a denim jersey.
Kentucky's doing a denim jersey this year.
Are they really?
Yeah, basketball. Not super thrilled, but
denim. The bluegrass state.
Yeah, but I don't want to wear jeans.
Hey, you never know. You just have to put on a little extra baby powder so you don't get a
Gold
rash.
Bond.
Yeah.
Get out the Gold Bond. You're going to be chafing out there. Go on, boys. Have yourselves a game. Yeah, but can you imagine a denim hockey jersey?
It'd be warm.
You wouldn't be cold?
Nah.
We're going to wear flannel tonight out at Bridgestone Arena.
Lumberjacks. The Nashville Lumberjacks. Could you imagine?
That's the new expansion.
Yeah.
That's the MLB expansion. That's what we're going to get.
Just had a great idea.
Yeah, there you go.
Savannah Bananas on ice.
Oh, God.
So we'd have a hockey version of the Savannah Bananas. Call them the Nashville Lumberjacks.
Oh, my God. I think I would vomit if we saw another iteration of the Savannah Bananas.
They announced their tour dates for next year.
That's great.
Did you guys see that?
I don't know.
I refuse to look at their tour dates because I think they're
I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of them.
We've already had this discussion.
Yep. Yes, we have.
Continuing.
Yes, we have. 615-737-1025 is the phone number if you want to chime in on the conversation. Coming up next, we'll get into a little bit more of Predators hockey. We'll talk a little bit about it. If the Preds can get a fast start, and I predicted yesterday on Next Man Up with Jake Lyman, I think they're going to go 3-0 by the end of the day on Monday. If they get out to a fast start, does that put the Andrew Burnett hot seat to bed? That's coming up next here on the Weekend Huddle. 615-737-1025 is the phone number. Our phone and text lines driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. We'll get to that conversation next. Connor Newt, Nick Frazier here with you on Weekend Huddle on 1025 The Game. Nothing says Preds hockey like a little bit of SEC on CBS music. Welcome back in Weekend Huddle here on 102.5 The Game. Connor Newt, Nick Frazier here with you, talking a little bit of Preds hockey. Weekend Huddle brought to you by LPL Financial, Nashville, and Patrick Conger. Wealth management advice for you, no matter your current situation or stage in life. So, Frazier, the Predators are on pace to have a historical season in the NHL. They are on pace to win 82 games currently. If the season ended today, the Predators would be the 1 seed in the Western Conference at 1-0. No, but in all seriousness, it was a gritty win for them on Thursday in the opener against the Columbus Blue Jackets. They win 2-1 in sort of crawl back fashion. I think that will give them a little bit of momentum. They have the monkey off their back for the first game of the season. I think I saw a stat the other day that this is the 10th year in a row the Nashville Predators have come away with at least 1 point in the opening game of the season. So they are in action tonight again at Bridgestone Arena for the first Saturday night in Smashville against the Utah Mammoth in a prehistoric mascot battle.
Ice Age game, baby.
The Ice Age game. Do you think they can carry this momentum against the Mammoth? And even beyond that, if they get off to a hot start, maybe go on a nice little win streak here, what do you think that does for the Andrew Brunette hot seat narrative?
I think it cools it off tremendously. And all this fan base really wants is to see wins. I think everybody's just, I don't want to say fatigued, but they understand that this roster has the intangibles to go all the way. On paper, that is. Now, you have to show it up on the ice. I think on the ice, this team has finally figured it out a little bit, in my opinion, from last season on to now. Excuse me.
There you
Joe
go.
Rexroad there.
There you go.
It's just this team, it seems like there's a different vibe. And listening to Robbie Stanley when he was on with Chase McJoe yesterday, he said, it was, like you said, it was a gritty win, but there's just something about this team that, to me, has gone over the hump, if that makes sense. I think adding Brady Martin to the first line, I don't know if he'll be up there past the 9 to 10 game threshold they're trying to hold him under, if that's the case, so don't waste a year on his contract. For me, keep him out there for 5 games, see if the chemistry really gels, because if the Preds want to be successful this year, that first line has to produce early and often. That's just me.
Yeah.
I think if you have the first line that produces early and often, like Forsberg, O'Reilly, and Martin, that's what you really need to catapult this lineup going forward. Adding Luke Evangelista back into the mix, I don't know if it's tonight or not, but
yeah, he's clear.
He's clear. He has his work visa, so we'll see how that plays out as well. I don't know. This is a team that we all know what they can do. It's just a matter of if they can just put it all together, and I think they can.
Yeah, I think you're right. They have all the intangibles to be a playoff team this year. That was sort of the problem last year, right? They had all the talent. They had the veteran presence, adding Steven Stamkos and Jonathan Marchessault and Brady Shea. They just couldn't piece it together.
Right.
It looked to me on Monday that healthy mix of what I've kind of been hammering home on this team of you have veterans and young guys on a line together. It looked like that is kind of paying off, right?
Right.
Now, it's worth noting Brady Martin played about 7 minutes in first period, which is a long time, then got about 7 minutes throughout the remainder of the game. So they substituted Steven Stamkos in his place on that line. So your front line was Steven Stamkos, Ryan O'Reilly, and Philip Forsberg, which is just an effective line at that. But I think you're right. If Brady Martin can be the driving force of this team to get off to a hot start, that cools a lot off. That cools off Barry Trotz. That cools off Andrew Brunette. That cools off any negativity going on in the locker room. I don't think there's a lot of that right now, based on what I heard. Tyson Jost came on the postgame show a couple days ago and said they were blasting music the whole time down in the locker room, singing along. And you've seen the videos, of course, of them in the huddle. And I think they have a new motorcycle helmet that they're giving
the green one, right? With the green little mohawk on it? Yeah.
Yep. And I think they have a paddle because they got to
row the boat.
They got to row the boat.
Who's going to row the boats? David Goggins.
There you go.
No, just to your point there on that, I'm intrigued to see if Stamkos actually stays out wide instead of playing in the center.
I don't think he wants to play center.
No, but like you just mentioned, like near the latter end of the game on Thursday, he kind of substituted onto that first line. And
He did. But O'Reilly was taking draws.
oh, okay. That makes sense. So I just, it's a little bit of a rotational mix there. I don't know. You bring in, some guys this past offseason and Perbix and Haig, and you want to see if that actually mixes and gels well.
Yeah. Perbix played a great game.
Yeah.
You know why? Because we
Why
didn't
is that?
talk about him.
Hey, there you go.
It's like an offensive lineman. In hockey, if you're not talking about the defenseman making a mistake, chances are they probably played a solid game of hockey. So
Yeah. What would you like to see out of this Preds team going forward?
I want to see young guys start to take the next step.
Okay.
Luke Evangelista in particular, I know he hasn't gotten in there yet, but
Yeah.
I want to see him kind of look to take that next step as a pivotal piece of the puzzle moving forward in this franchise. Because look, Philip Forsberg, Roman Josi are veterans. As much as we love them, they're not going to be around here forever.
Mhm.
That's why I'm looking for Brady Martin and Luke Evangelista and Joachim Kimmel and guys like Fedor Svechkov. Guys need to take the next step and sort of show that they can contribute to a team with this much talent on the roster. And look, I don't think that the Predators are, world beaters in the Western Conference. I think they have the potential to go on and make the playoff and maybe make a run if they get hot at the right time. But I think right now, it's about starting off the season right, starting off the season hot, because what happened last year was they had a rough start, got in their own heads, and then by Christmas, they were out of it.
Yeah.
So I think it's avoiding that this year.
It's crazy how an 82-game season, you're 0-5 to start out, and you're just like, oh, wow, you're already behind the 8 ball a little bit. It's kind of weird to think about that,
Yeah.
Because you just start, but yet, wait a minute. Yeah, we need to start winning some games. So for the Preds, 1-0, not too shabby, like you said. On track to go undefeated.
They're currently number 1 in the West.
I want to ask you before we go to break about Spencer Stasi. I want to put you on the spot, but I didn't get to see all the game Thursday because I was at the high school game, Hillsborough versus Lawson. What did Stasi look like to you if you had a chance to see him on the screen?
Kind of similar to Perbix in a way. He's playing on that last pair. He's paired up with Justin Barron. So I think among the D pairs, they were probably the most noticeable as far as mistakes that were made. But I think they are going to be an effective D pair. I like Justin Barron. I think they clearly love him as well. I think he's going to be maybe not the best defenseman they've ever seen, but I think he's going to be a serviceable guy for them in the future. Yeah, he's scrappy. And Spencer, honestly, it was just nice to see him back out there again. His story this offseason is one that I think resonates with me and resonates with a lot of people as he, battled depression and anxiety. It came out about that. He says he's filled out his NHL retirement papers and then tossed them and realized he wanted to play. So I'm just happy to see him out there and healthy and happy. But he did look like a serviceable defenseman, and I'm happy for him because I think if there's one defenseman I'm going to put a lot of stock into moving forward, it's probably him. He's young enough and he's able to soak up enough and be a sponge to learn. So I thought he looked good, to answer your question.
Well, good. I like to hear that. You want to make sure that, like you mentioned at the start of this segment, the young guys, you want to see them develop. And I think that's the primary reason the Preds are going to have a lot of success this year is because those young guys are going to compensate for the open ice that's lost with the vets.
615-737-1025 is the phone number if you've got a comment about the Nashville Predators. Again, they are in action tonight down at Bridgestone Arena, taking on the Utah Mammoth in what I think we should bill as like the Ice Age rivalry or something like that. The Mammoth and the Predators, a couple of prehistoric mammals, if you will. Pregame will be at 6 o'clock with Max Hers, and of course, Puck Drop at 7 with our good friends Pete Weber and Jay Moore on the call. By the way, Max calls me Conhead, right?
Oh, yeah.
The nickname has caught on, and Pete Weber is now doing it. So,
oh boy,
I think Big Joe might be a little bit jealous hearing that, but the nickname is sticking.
Man, you got a lot of nicknames. The Conhead, the Rifleman.
The Rifleman hasn't caught on.
It should.
Congressman.
Speaker of the House.
I liked Speaker, but no one
Speaker.
got it. So Joe went away from it.
Yeah.
But I think more people would understand Speaker than Rifleman because I didn't really understand that one.
Rifleman's good.
But it's good.
Yeah.
615-737-1025 is the phone number if you want to get involved in the conversation. Coming up next, we'll talk a little bit of college football, as we got some big matchups throughout the day. Of course, the game of the day, Oregon and Indiana, but Alabama headed down to Como to take on Mizzou, and Tennessee, of course, hosting Arkansas. We'll break those down coming up next here on the Weekend Huddle on 102.5 The Game. Weekend Huddle here on 102.5 The Game. Connor Newt, Nick Frazier here with you, talking a little bit of college football. This is Madden music right here. That's where I get this from. Big matchups today. Of course, the game of the week. Game day is there right now in Eugene, Oregon, and I'm representing them very well today, as I love that duck. Oregon taking on Indiana. Oregon, I believe, favored by 7.5, which maybe a little bit high, if you ask me. But Eugene's a tough place to play. This may be one of the best Oregon teams we've seen in a long, long time. Frazier, do you think Indiana has what it takes to take down the Ducks?
I think they have what it takes to put up 20 points, but no, I don't think the Ducks lose tonight. It's just they're one of my preseason darlings. I think between Jake, myself, you, we all did our little preseason votes for college football. My G5 school to make it in was UNLV. They're still undefeated. The team to win it all for me was Oregon. So This is just
Ducks.
the Ducks. I'm not trying to base all my preseason predictions off this, but the Ducks are really good under Dante Moore at quarterback. They seem to be hitting on all cylinders. They're not like the Oregons of the past where they can throw up, 50, 60 points on a top 25 team. I mean, they have the intangibles to do so, but they're not going to do that consistently. Dan Lanning can really just change the pace of a game at the snap of a finger. And I think that's their secret weapon is they can just do whatever with opponents. And that's something that you don't see in modern day college football as often. I've been holding back in saying this, but I think Oregon is on pace to kind of be the new dynasty of college football.
I guaranteed yesterday. I guaranteed yesterday that Oregon is going to win a national championship in the next 5 years.
I agree. I agreed.
I think they've got recruiting out west on locks because where else are those recruits going to go? USC, I guess, would be number 2. It's Puddles. It's unleashing silly string on Desmond Howard.
Well, no, Puddles really unleashed it on Pete Thamel, and then I think Desmond Howard came back and got Puddles.
Is that an Oregon thing that I'm missing out on?
I don't know I think that's just the Duck being the Duck.
It's the Duck. It's the Duck. Well, Pete Thamel, credit to him for staying locked in on whatever segment he was doing. So that's commitment to the business. But sorry, Puddles just distracted me from the conversation.
It's all right.
Oregon, I think, has everything going for them. People won't talk about this a lot, but you know what one of their, other than the NIL money, you know what one of their biggest selling points is?
The check.
The uniforms.
That's what I'm saying. The check, the Nike check. Yeah.
Yep. That these recruits see all the flash and they're like, I want to be a part of that. So Dan Lanning, I think, is the absolute perfect coach for that program. I think he was always going to be a head coach coming out of Georgia as the DC. Now that he is one, I don't think he should ever leave that program. Mm-hmm. They have all the NIL money in the world from the Nike. They have all the recruiting assets and resources they could need. They have all the uniforms. They have a beautiful color scheme, and they're a good football team on a year-to-year basis. So as far as this game today, I think it's going to be similar to Vanderbilt and Alabama last week, and it's close for a little bit, and then I think overall talent for Oregon just starts to pull away. Jake and I talked about it a little bit yesterday. There are probably 3 teams in the nation right now I think you could safely say are locks to make the college football playoff. Ohio State, Miami, Oregon. Mm-hmm. I think those are the 3. I don't think you can pin that on anyone in the SEC right now simply because of the depth of that conference, how hard it is, and really there hasn't been anyone to just emerge from the SEC yet.
I got one, and I think it's going to take a little bit more time, but I'm still very high on Texas A&M. I think they will make the playoff. Again, when it comes down to Texas A&M rivalry game, I think A&M takes away with that just because Texas looks vulnerable this year. And I'm not trying to get through the weeds about this, but A&M is a strong suit in the SEC. I think we're seeing Georgia and the Alabamas, they all have one loss, but at the same time, there's just not quite there. Yeah, Alabama has been catching stride the last couple weeks, but Ty Simpson's looks really good. You got to give more credit to A&M. They are quietly putting together a really good resume this season.
I really like A&M. The problem I have with A&M is kind of the problem I have with some of the other teams in the SEC. Mm-hmm. I would put them in that second tier of teams that I think are really good, but are going to kind of have to battle each other to get that last play, or not last, but get a playoff spot for the SEC.
Right.
If I were to pick a team to come out of the SEC right now, probably Alabama.
That's fair.
They have a lot of talent. Theismann is playing his best football right now.
Good.
Theismann. Yeah, you like that? Ty Simpson is playing on a Heisman quarterback level right now. You saw that last week against Vanderbilt. He doesn't make mistakes. And when he does, he'll burn you on the next one. Mm-hmm. He's incredible. They have a big game today as they head to Como to take on Missouri. They're only 4.5-point favorites, I believe. Do we think Missouri is legit, or is it just a product of their schedule?
I think it's a product of their schedule. I mean, it's just weird rolling off the tongue that Missouri good at football. What? I thought they were a basketball school. Wait, I thought they were a softball school. No, they're putting together a good resume. I think what Drinkwitz is doing over there is just good for the program in general. I think NIL has really helped them out overall this season and previous season as well. They got the backup quarterback from Penn State.
Bo Perbula.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bo
there you go.
Perbula. Thank you. He's a dual threat quarterback. I think you have to keep your eyes on. Not generational, but yet somebody that can really damage a defense for sure. You look at Alabama and, like you said, Ty Simpson. That's going to be a true test. And I'm sticking to the same key that's been on the Bama Crimson Tide since week 1. And they showed up against Vanderbilt when you play from behind. I want to see if they go from behind against Missouri. Maybe they have a hiccup today. I don't know, but that's something to look into.
I think it's going to be a road test for them. Not that Missouri is a super tough environment to play in, but it's an SEC road environment. Nothing is, promised on a given Saturday, but I think Alabama's starting to figure it out, especially if Kalen DeBoer wears the black hoodie, because I think he's undefeated in that. I think he's like 11-0 when wearing the black hoodie. Yeah, but he only rolls it out for big games. So watch out, Tennessee, next week. But I think they roll in and take out the Tigers.
I think where Missouri could win this game is on the defensive offensive line in the trenches.
Yeah.
I was seeing something the other day. Ahmad Hardy is averaging like 140 something yards per game on the ground. So, I mean, you mentioned it that they're 6-0 because it's a product of their schedule. Well, if you want to be in the cream of the crop of the SEC, this is the game where you gotta go out and prove it.
Yeah, I mean, their schedule, they played Central Arkansas, put up 60 points. Kansas put up 42. Louisiana, they put up 52. South Carolina, that's the one thing that I'm intrigued about. They only beat South Carolina by 9 points, and Vandy's over here blowing them out. That's just something to keep your eye on.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's those bigger conference games. They have to play tight games
I
too.
think you got to, no disrespect to Vandy, but I think you got to factor in that South Carolina played a full game with their starting quarterback against Missouri.
It's true.
And Vanderbilt, obviously they came in and dominated that game, but a majority of it was without Lenora Sellers. So I think that definitely plays a factor into things. Another big matchup, arguably the biggest matchup in the SEC today, the Red River rivalry going on in the Cotton Bowl between Texas and Oklahoma. Looks like John Mateer for Oklahoma is going to play.
Good.
So I don't know if that sways your opinion on this. Brandon and I kind of talked about this a little bit last night. Texas has started off slow against Ohio State and has just not really looked any better than that. They're putting up big wins over the lesser teams. Like I believe they played UTEP and Sam Houston and San Jose State as their other non-conference games. Those are games that powerhouse Texas should probably win. But ever since, they got blown out last week by Florida. They're being figured out. And some of that is Arch Manning has not looked good. That said, it's a rivalry game. You know what they say about rivalry games. Throw the record books away. Does Texas bounce back and take out rival Oklahoma today?
I don't think so. I'm out on Texas. I know that sounds crazy, like we're talking already. I am now out on Texas. I think if they keep forcing Arch Manning in the pocket, like forcing him to play for Texas as their starting quarterback, their backup's better. We've seen it. In few accounts, we've seen that quarterback throw some good balls. It's just to the point where Texas is struggling, and the fact they have to now game plan for John Mateer, that's a big issue.
They were very smart in that they said, yeah, we don't know if he's going to play. And I think last night it came out, John Mateer is probably going to play. What does that mean? That means Texas has been game planning for not one, but two quarterbacks.
Yep. And with the team that's in shambles right now, having to prep for two quarterbacks, it's definitely going to be a concern.
Absolutely. Last game to talk about here before we go to the break. Tennessee hosting Arkansas. Tennessee coming off of the bye week. Arkansas as well with their first game with interim head coach, Bobby Petrino. I don't know about you, and maybe it's that kind of thing we both get where you get that feeling in your stomach. It means you're either hungry or something big is about to happen.
Something's brewing.
I think this is going to be a blowout in favor of the Vols.
Really?
Yes.
I have a trap game feeling on this.
I don't get that today.
You don't?
Josh Heupel has been very good coming out of the bye. He typically doesn't lose to teams 2 years in a row. And quite frankly, I just don't think Arkansas is very good.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I just think it's gonna be a very close game. I don't think it's gonna be a blow your socks off type thing. This is don't get me wrong, Arkansas, bad team, but I don't know, dude. There's just something about this game. It's a murky water situation.
I mean, I could see it. They got Alabama next week. Maybe they're looking forward to that one. And Arkansas comes in and shocks the world. But I just don't think Petrino has had enough time to gel with the team as a head coach. I really like Taylon Green, the quarterback for Arkansas, but
he's good with his legs.
He is good with his legs. But I think the Tennessee defensive front is good at containing guys like that. I mean, look at what they did to Gunnar Stockton. Not that they won that game, but they did a good job of containing him from running. I think this is just going to be a game where Tennessee comes in and rolls and gets some momentum heading in to Tuscaloosa next week. That's just me, but it should be interesting to watch. 615-737-1025 is the phone number. Last call for your texts and phone calls as we get one final segment coming up next. It's his last day. So with that said, Nick Frazier, Jake Wallman are going to go head to head. I'm going to moderate some where are they now between them. And we say goodbye to our good friend, Jake Wallman. That's all coming up next right here on 102.5 The Game. One final segment here on Weekend Huddle here on 102.5 The Game. Connor Newt, Nick Frazier, Jake Wallman here with you. And as we finish out our final program with our good friend Jake Wallman, as he's off to new adventures, we will play one last game of Where Are They Now with him. Now, I think we're all familiar with the rules, but just to reiterate, 5 players. First 3 are in North America. That's the USA, Canada, and Mexico. The final 2 can be anywhere in the world. It's 2 points for the official, 1 point for the official country / league. 2 points if you can get the specific team. In the event of a tie, I'll give you a career path of a player from a respective sport. Your job is to tell me who that player is. Are we ready?
Let's do this thing.
Jake Wallman, ready?
We're ready. I got to put my undefeated record on
Yes,
the
you
line
are.
today.
You are 1-0 all time. Can he get out of here with a win? We begin with a former Tennessee Volunteer, maybe one of the worst cornerbacks in the history of Tennessee football until he all of a sudden wasn't. Where is Kamal Haddon? Jake Wallman.
I believe I'm going to go with the NFL, and he's with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay, Jake Wallman going to Kansas City Chiefs. Nick Frazier.
I'm going Canadian Football League, Montreal Alouettes.
He is in the NFL.
Okay.
So that is a point for Jake Wallman. He is on the Green Bay Packers.
I think he got drafted by the Chiefs.
Yes, I believe you're right.
He'll forever be remembered for trying to fight at the end of the Florida game in 2023.
With helmets on.
Yes.
So Jake Wallman already up 1-0. Another SEC legend at number 2. Maybe the greatest kicker in the history of SEC football. The funniest looking of all time as well. Former Georgia Bulldog, former Indianapolis Colt, Hot Rod, Rodrigo Blankenship. Nick Frazier, you go first.
UFL, St. Louis Battlehawks.
Jake Wallman.
I'm also going to go with the UFL and say the Michigan Panthers.
Ding, ding, ding. Nick Frazier. He is in the UFL for the St. Louis Battlehawks. So Jake Wallman still gets a point. It is 3-2 off the 3-run homer right there.
Don't I get 3 points because I got it dead on?
I thought it was 2. You only get 2 points.
No, well, you got the league too.
Yeah.
So it's 3-2.
I
You're
thought
up.
you just mentioned in the rules that it was 2 points if
It's 1 point for
Right.
point for
Point for the
league,
league.
2 points for team. You got the specific team.
okay. Gotcha.
Hey, Jake Wallman.
Hey, keep it easy there.
Sorry. Just saying hey.
Former Atlanta Brave, former World Series MVP in 2021. Where is outfielder Jorge Soler? Jake Wallman.
I'm going to go with I'm working on our theme music as well.
You're fine.
I'm going to go with he's in the minor leagues for the San Francisco Giants.
All right. My triple.
I think they're the Reno Aces.
Okay.
Or the 57s. I'm not sure.
Reno Aces. Nick
I'm
Frazier.
Going with MLB team still, Miami Marlins.
He is in the MLB. He's playing for the Los Angeles Angels.
All right. Should have
So,
got that.
The lead extended now
4-2.
to 2 for Nick Frazier. We now move to the out of North America portion of the competition. Nick Frazier leads 4-2. Former Tennessee basketball player and a guy that kind of got on my nerves when he played there, Jordan Bone.
Former Innsworth Tiger.
Yes, Nashville's very own Jordan Bone. Where is Jordan Bone playing today?
Last that I knew that Jordan Bone was playing in the NBA for the Detroit Tigers.
Detroit Tigers.
Pistons. I'm going to go with he's playing in the German basketball league for the German Schnitzels. Something?
The German Schnitzels.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
Team name.
Jake Wallman. Where is Jordan Bone?
I'm going to go with the only international team that I know, the Guangdong Tigers.
Old Faithful. He is playing in Nick Frazier's homeland. He's playing in Italy
Really?
for a team that sounds like an Italian dessert, Vinoli Cremona.
Cremonese. Okay. Yeah.
Cremone?
yeah.
Cremone?
The area, it's Cremonese.
Okay.
Cremonese.
Okay. Regardless.
Cremonese.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
You got to do with the hand thing.
Boston Cremonese.
Yeah,
there
you go.
Yeah.
It does sound like a dessert. It
It
sounds like
does.
a nice little cannoli.
Yeah.
I'd go for a cannoli.
I mean, that's everything in Italy. You walk down the street and you're getting ricotta cheese falling from the sky.
So Nick Frazier leading 4-2. Jake Wallman needs every bit of this last one if we want to send him out of here with a win and an undefeated record. And where are they now? Former Nashville Predator.
Yeah, I'm not getting this.
You got it.
Igor Afanasiev, former winger for the Predators. He was just here a couple of years ago.
I'm going to go. He's playing in Russia for the St. Petersburg Russians.
I've made this mistake before.
Ah, yes.
When I said he plays in Russia, there's like multiple leagues. So just put that out. I'm going KHL.
Okay. But
Not sure what team, but I'm going KHL.
I would have accepted both.
Oh.
He is in Russia playing for the KHL for CSK Moscow.
Oh. So we both get a point.
So you both get a point. That cuts the lead. Or
It's over.
it's over. It's
Cookies.
5-3. Cookies, onions.
what's the term? Chalked?
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say chopped. That's kind of a term we don't really need to use right now.
Aura farming.
Or as the kids
As
say
the
these
kids
days.
say.
Well, if we could, it's been an absolute pleasure with you, Jake Wallman. You've been our guy for the last almost year and a half, really.
Yeah. Came in last May.
Yeah.
Right after the show got started, actually.
Yep.
So
Yeah, you did.
I kind of came in when you guys were getting started, and Connor Newt was actually sitting behind the board.
We've all grown up a little bit, and you've done a lot of growing. You've done a lot of maturing. Not that you were this immature slob when you got here. But,
Depends on who you ask.
but we're gonna miss you, buddy. It's been a pleasure. We hope to see you soon, and don't ever be a stranger.
Yeah.
The door is always open.
I'll peruse the text lines, both private and public.
There you go. Yeah, you're always welcome back here. We'll always open that door for you.
And who knows? You gotta, don't let the embers go out. Don't let the fire go out. Just keep it at an ember. And who knows? Hopefully, Chase, if you're listening,
He's probably not. He's probably
that's true.
doing something else. But
But if he does hear this, hopefully the door is always open for a possible return someday.
There you go.
this is like wrestling. You can always come home.
The wise words of Wallman.
Yes.
There you go. No, Wallman, we're gonna miss you, man. You've done a really good job here. Just keeping things at afloat in some aspects, but your maturity behind the board as an executive producer of the show, you've done a really good job, and appreciate your friendship as well. You've been a great friend to all of us, and obviously bringing in donuts from time to time, and just make sure you're studying up on your lacrosse. All right.
Yeah, I've actually been meaning to catch some lacrosse games.
Yep. Just remember that, and that if anybody calls and they ask about if Willie's working on the weekends, he's not.
No,
here.
he's not.
No.
He does not work on the weekends.
Folks, it's an inside joke if you're listening. It's a funny thing. It's a long story. Not going to get into it.
Stay
but
cute.
Yeah,
Just
stay cute, Jay Wallman.
Stay
Jake
cute.
Wallman.
Also know that your information is currently located on the 94.9 The Fan website.
Yes.
So if
anybody needs to reach me post radio days, just give me a call.
Yeah.
But thank you so much, Wallman.
Yeah.
You're a huge contributor to the show.
I don't think people understand you know it and I know it. And now we see it through him, how difficult this job is.
Yep.
It is really something that goes very underappreciated. It is hard coming on here. You and I talking every Saturday. It's even harder to manage whatever shenanigans we throw his way. So
clips, tweeting, all the above.
Yeah, it's a multi-purpose job, and you have handled it astronomically. So we thank you for that. We're gonna miss you. We love you. We can't wait to see what's next for you.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. I remember when I was in need of something in 2024, after something fell through. And I was sitting on my couch one day and I thought, I wonder about 102.5 The Game.
Yeah.
And I emailed Chase on a whim, and he was 100% open to, I think we did a phone interview like that day, like 20 minutes after I emailed him. And then I came in, sat down with him for about 20 minutes and we talked, and the rest is history. And, thank you for giving me a shot. I really appreciate it. Thank you to Bud and Sean Fort for, always popping in and just kind of seeing if things were going okay. And, I really appreciate everybody here at the station being open to questions. And, that's one thing I think in my career that, if you want to learn something, I go by the rule that there is no bad question.
Yep.
So,
and that's a good mentality to have. Never be afraid to ask questions. Also, always, the part of the reason I did the fan thing today was because you're one of the biggest Vols guys I know. So don't get into any fights or anything.
No.
While you're out
I
there.
actually have I don't know if I've shared a story with you boys, but I'll share it off the air after we wrap up.
Wonderful.
We won't be there to save you next time, so don't get into any heated debates. That'll do it for us here on the Weekend Huddle. For Jake Wallman, for Nick Frazier, I'm Connor Newt saying so long. Stick around. We got some football coming up. And, of course, tonight, the Nashville Predators in action against the Utah Mammoth. Pre-game at 6 with Max Hers and first pitch. Puck drop at 7 p.m. with the great Pete Weber and Jay Moore on the call. For all of us, we say goodbye, and we'll see you next week here on the Weekend Huddle on 102.5 The Game.
See ya.